This is Pragya, and I bring to you excerpts from current issue of Outlook on Islamophobia. Vulnerable at Home by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from Outlook. To make sense of the Indian variant of Islamophobia, it is vital to examine its relationship with the notion of communalism, particularly their points of convergence. There is a growing perception that Indian Muslims are increasingly victims of targeted violence by various means such as lynching, assault, allegedly for love jihad, random acts of violence like the recent shooting carried out by a police constable on a Mumbai-bound train, and also in a more systematic fashion as a part of bulldozer justice, mainly undertaken by the Bharatiya Janata Party ruled states such as Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, etc. In a recent execution of bulldozer justice in the wake of the violence in Nuh, Haryana, close to 1,200 structures were demolished. The Punjab and Haryana High Court, while taking note of this illegality, invoked ethnic cleansing as a possible fallout. The series of violent incidents in various forms occurring over the span of the past few years are argued to be an outcome of growing Islamophobia. Does this indeed represent a pattern of Islamophobia, or is there something more to it? The application of the concept of Islamophobia to analyze the violence against Muslims is rather a new approach in the analysis of Hindu-Muslim violence in India. This violence between two communities, Hindus and Muslims, has been occurring for a long time, particularly since the late 19th century. Though the idea of Islamophobia is rather new in its Indian usage, it has been widely used in the West, particularly after 9/11 and the Western response of war on terror that followed. This was also exported to other parts of the globe, including India, as a part of conversations on war on terror. The observation, all Muslims are not terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims, is an outcome of the West-inspired Islamophobic interpretations of the war on terror. This phrase found currency in India's public conversations during a few terrorist incidents that took place in India after 9/11 as well. However, it could be argued that the existence of Islamophobia is as old as Islam itself. Under varied contexts, the concept has been deployed differently, at times carrying more weightage or relevance. As a religion, Islam is the youngest member of the family of Abrahamic religions, like Judaism and Christianity. It has been operating in a very competitive space, seeking to make positive case for itself among its followers. In the process, it has invited hostile interpretations from rival faiths, giving rise to what is now widely known as Islamophobia. But the sources of Islamophobia are not entirely theological. Islam's close relationship with the state power, particularly in the power struggle in non-Islamic societies such as Spain in Europe or in South Asia, also contributed significantly to the emergence of Islamophobia. The politics and violence associated with the Muslims' empire have also been the source of Islamophobia, especially among those who challenged it, such as Maratha power, or replaced it, such as the British Empire. In India, the examples of Babri Masjid, Gyanvapi Masjid, or Somnath are a part of the stories connected with the power struggle or conquest with no connection with Islamic theological issues. They are perceived to have contributed to the rise of massive Islamophobia in South Asia and have made ordinary Muslims vulnerable to increasingly organized militant Hinduism in modern times. Historians have been debating about how much writings and interpretations of scholars associated or sympathetic to the British contributed to create an Islamophobic image of Muslim rule in India. For these and more, read the current issue of Outlook